Denton Community Television, operated by the Mayborn School of Journalism, the University of North Texas.
Hi, I'm Mike Miller, and I hope you're having a great day. Thanks so much for watching. My guest today is a musician, artist, creates animation, and I'm very honored to have Willie Balloon here today.
How you doing?
Thank you, Willie, for coming down.
Glad to have you.
So you created your animation company back in 2003?
Yes. It's called PIC Entertainment.
PIC Entertainment.
And PIC stands for Positively Inspired Creations. And what that is we're an alternative entertainment company that gives an alternative to multimedia in a positive light. We want to provide hope and inspiration for people. People been cast down, hurt. People who want to overcome obstacles in life. We try to promote encouragement and self-value through the entertainment we do, and that's through animation, through comic books, and through music production. And so when we say pick entertainment, we're saying pick your entertainment.
Yeah. So how long have you been involved with comic books?
I've been ever since I could lift a pencil.
Really?
When I was about, I started drawing at about 4 years old.
Really?
And when I turned about 6, that's when I got into watching movies and then trying to recreate the story of the movie I saw.
Your own comic books.
Make my own comic books. I would make a page comic. And that's how I started off doing that, and just started progressing from a lot of the greats that I've seen in Marvel comics.
Oh, really? Those were some of your main influences, some of the Marvel characters?
Yes. And I used to watch Batman and Robin.
Oh, yeah.
The old 60s version with Adam West.
Oh, yeah.
And that I got a lot of ideas from that, and I would recreate that.
As far as the cars and things like that, the costumes.
Exactly. And I would try to recreate the show, the episode that I would see. Yeah. And that's how I got in the routine and the practice of drawing my own comics and stories.
Well, that's a good idea. It gives you a model to go by.
It does. And it really was inspiration to me, because when we, as kids, when we were playing with our friends, when we would play with our little G.I. Joes and action figures, we would make stories out of them. And so that I've always been inspired to create stories and create lifestyles. I was inspired a lot by the way Bill Cosby was able to do all of the voices for Fat Albert.
Oh, yeah.
And I was.
How many voices did he do?
He did all 7 of the characters. I believe there was about 6 or 7 of them, and he did the whole gang. He did all the voice parts and
That's
so
amazing.
forth. Yes,
I'd forgotten that he was involved like that.
Yes, and George Lucas was another inspiration to me when he created Star Wars. Yeah. And my father, he was very. He exposed me to a lot of things in the sci-fi, because he was a James Bond fan.
Really?
Yeah. And he's also a preacher.
Really?
And so I grew up a lot into the religious world, and so those two worlds combined together kind of gave a lot of my insight.
So you were drawing and things like that, and then you began to learn about the animation software.
Yes, I did. basically, the two things that I was really involved with as a kid was drawing and music, creating music with my mouth. And
like making trumpet sounds and stuff like that.
Exactly. And I would try to mimic what I heard, but I didn't know what I was doing. I just knew that I loved to do that all the time.
Yeah.
And I could remember there was an older lady who had me on her lap as I was a kid, and she said, "You can sit on my lap, Willie, but all that doom with your mouth got to go." Because I would constantly do that all the time.
Really?
And
you just had music in your soul.
All the time. And my parents, both of them were in gospel groups.
Oh, really?
So I was surrounded around music all the time.
Yeah.
And I have two older sisters who was very heavily into music as well too.
Really?
And so it was a pressure on me because I was afraid to come out with music because
it's very personal.
Yeah, it is, and so my people in the church would try to push me to sing, and so I didn't sing my first solo until I was 14.
Well, that's pretty good, though. Yeah.
So
some people don't do it until they're 40.
Yeah. So, the inspirations from my parents and my mother, she was a school teacher.
Really?
Yeah, and she also draws, and and so I got a lot of inspiration from my mother and my father.
Well, that's always good. And that's one of the things you project in your programs is family values.
Yes. Family values, empowerment, help people who have been broken down, cast down. I kind of always had the thing for the underdog. Because I was the underdog.
You felt that way sometimes.
Yeah, I did. Sometimes I had a hard time communicating my ideas out,
it's because you were translating everything into music and art.
And so much was going on in my head, and so I would talk slow. And I used to get ridiculed for that as a kid. That you stutter, or come on, get it out. But I was thinking of so many things.
So many things going on in your head.
That's it.
That's how the artists are.
Right.
But you created these. You have the Z Enforcers and then the Scorch Force.
Yes. The Z Enforcers are characters that I came up with. There are 8 individuals that represent a virtue, a Christ-like virtue, a positive virtue. One represents truth, one represents mercy, one represents patience, and one represents virtue, courage, faith, overcoming doubts and fears. And these individuals came from a planet called Zootonia.
Really?
And that's what the Z on their chest stands for, Zootonia.
Okay.
And what Zootonia is a place, it's an advanced version of Earth, but it is a place that represented peace and harmony. And it was ruled by 2 individuals named Zor and Armagon, who were brothers.
Oh, really?
And these 2 brothers were to maintain the peace and the harmony in the country.
Really?
And defend against opposing countries. So what Alpha Magnus is a being who created all of these and gave them their powers. And so he gave them the powers to protect. He gave Zor and Armagon the powers to protect Zootonia. And since they'd done such a great job, he told them that he was going to reward them with more extra powers to defend. But the catch was they could only use these powers to protect, but not to send vengeance out against opposing countries. So the older brother named Zor, he had some resentment in his heart because he lost his wife in a battle that they had with an opposing country.
Really?
Yeah, so he wanted to make sure that never happened again. So he, in turn, used the powers for evil. And so when he did that, it turned, he experienced a curse that Alpha Magnus said that they would have, which they became demons.
Is that right?
And so Zor and his family became demons.
And they became the Scorched
Exactly,
Enforcers.
and that's where the Scorch Force, the leader of the Scorch Force is the son of Zor. And the leader, the captain of the Z Enforcers, Demirius, he's the son of Armagon, the good brother who remained in the camp. So they're cousins, but there's a constant rivalry between the two. And the Scorch Force and and the Z Enforcers are the friends of both cousins. The friends of Demirius is the Z Enforcers. The friends of Zor, Lavar Inferno 1, aka Inferno 1, the leader of the Scorch Force, his friends are the Scorch Force.
Oh, really?
And they turned into demons. And so they have resentment because of what they turned into. So their mindset is to get the world, to get Earth to follow down a path of eat, drink, and be merry, and do your own thing, and be concerned more about yourself than about others. It's a dog-eat-dog world, gotta go out and get yours. Whereas the Z Enforcers enforce empowerment on the inside, you becoming a hero from the value that God gave you in the beginning. And that the value that we're all searching for. And we try to strive for the greatest things in the world because we want that value, want that sense of importance. So the Z Enforcers try to restore that by the practicing the principles that Christ teaches in the Bible, because he's the creator of the world, so he knows the purpose of everyone. And he has the ultimate value that he gave us in the beginning that Satan stole from us. And
now,
so
one of those songs you sent me is Utopia.
Yes,
Enter
Utopia. Yes,
And that's like the ideal life or something.
Exactly. And so that was a soundtrack off of the episode where the Z Enforcers are going to meet Alpha Magnus.
Oh, really?
To start a new mission that he was going to send them out on.
Now, how does this relate to some of the slides that we have?
What this the Enter Utopia is about a mindset of a mindset to where you are you're following the path that God is trying to lead you.
Yes.
Where you're overcoming leaps and bounds.
Oh, okay.
With the mindset of being able to see past what's right in front of you and look at more into the spiritual realm.
Yeah.
Because the Bible says, I can do all things through Christ, which strengthens me. And so, on our own, we can't do things on our own because we make mistakes all the time. But through Christ, looking through God's eyes, it's like anything's possible. You can overcome obstacles. You can overcome things that seem impossible.
Oh, sure.
And so that's what the Enter Utopia speaks about.
The theme of
that. Theme of that, of being in that mindset.
And like the slides that for the show that you gave to Chuck, are there certain ones that tie in with what we're talking about?
What those are is you see the Z Enforcers themselves.
Okay.
You see the different characters with each enforcer, with the particular ones, what they represent, and you also see little clips of the episodes, and you also see some of the Scorch Force as well too, and the constant battle between them. Now the battle that they do, the human eyes cannot see them.
I noticed that.
Yeah, only those who's watching the episode can see them.
Yeah.
But there's
it's
been
like the invisible world.
Exactly. So you can feel the pressures of each force. For example, Tostas is the enforcer of doubt and fear. So when you're faced with a situation where you're feeling like you can't overcome, or you have some doubt or some fear, he's right there speaking to you, trying to pull you in that direction, say, you might as well give up. You're human anyway, so just give it on up. Give it on up. It ain't for you. So you might as well just forget about it. There's no way possible. But Ion, who's the enforcer of courage, he's telling you that you can overcome anything. If you believe in yourself and believe in the power that God can give you, you can overcome. So they both battle each other, and a lot of times they're shooting their powers out at each other, and they're just going at it. And the result of what the person decides will sometimes determine what they do. When the like, if for example, if the person didn't succeed, then that means Toasters must have gotten Ion and put him in a chokehold, or he defeated him. But the audience is able to see that, but the individuals that they're dealing with can't see that. And so it's a constant
kind of how it
battle.
is in real life.
In real life, you have challenges, obstacles, ups and downs.
So many invisibles out there.
Exactly. But we don't understand there's a outside force that pulls us. You know, you might watch a commercial and just look at the commercial for what it is, but you don't know why you're hungry all of a sudden. And it's because that commercial suggested some things to you.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, you want to go get a burger. And so we're dealing with that outside realm, the forces that influence that.
Mm-hmm. How many segments do you actually have?
It's 3 seasons long. It's 14 episodes each season. And so it's 3 seasons long, and the first season basically deals with the Z Enforcers and who they are, the different powers and characteristics, and the audience will learn their characteristics and personalities through that.
How long is each segment?
Each segment is 45 minutes
really?
long. 45 minutes long, and
that's a lot of work you put into that.
Yeah, it's I have 3 seasons worth of scripts that I created. And so what we're trying to do, what I want to do now is produce the pilot episode. And then that would be the introduction into the series. And then we have 3 seasons of it, and then there's a spinoff from that.
So that's really a lot of work that you've done in anticipation of getting it onto like some kind of cable TV channel or satellite channel or something.
Yes, and basically what we're trying to do is build a team, and so we're looking for supporters. Oh, no problem. Interns, animators, and we're looking for a lot of artists that we can get with to design. I've done a lot of the legwork as far as the concept designs, the character creations, and so forth, the storylines. But I'll be working with a couple of more writers. Be also working with voiceovers. We have many voiceovers and many music artists that be involved as well too. But as of now, I've created everything on my own from scratch.
Do you have these on YouTube?
Yes, you can find it on www.youtube.com and /PIC Entertainment TV.com. PIC Entertainment TV. And on that channel, you will see clips. You'll see an example, a demo episode that I created for a kid for his birthday.
Oh, really? I saw that.
Yes. And so
some for the various clients.
Exactly.
Work you've done for clients.
Exactly. And it has some of the music from the soundtrack on there as well. We have some soundtrack medley that goes through a list of the songs, just let you hear snippets of the songs, and then we have some full-length songs on there as well too.
And you have some of your music on SoundCloud?
Yes, I have some of my music on SoundCloud. The movie trailer for the Z Enforcers has the soundtrack Dream Team, and so that's one of the theme songs for the Z Enforcers. So that's on SoundCloud, and we have several others
Really?
that are on there as well too. Mm-hmm.
Now, the flash drive you brought for us to include on the show,
Yes.
what's on that actually?
On that is some clips from the movie trailer of it, and it kind of goes through a brief summary of the characters, showing them in different situations and what
How
they
many
do.
minutes is that?
That particular video is about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay. Okay.
And so, and then I also have photo images of each of the enforcers as them
really?
in their human state,
Oh, really?
and them as the enforcers.
Yeah.
Because what they do when they turn into the enforcers, they turn into a living metal. And this living metal is able to protect them against fire darts and things that come from the demons.
They have like metallic skin
Exactly.
or something.
So they
yeah.
turn into this steel, and that's when all of their powers come forth, and and their influence as well.
And you just developed those faces over the years, one of the different characters.
Yes. Basically, it's been about 10 years I've been developing the story.
Really?
And so I've done just a lot of research and looked at, because they're from different countries. And so I had to research a lot of the cultures. You have some from India, some from Thailand, some from Spain and Puerto Rico and America, Russia,
That's
and
what
all different places.
Great writers have to do a lot of research.
Yeah, that's it.
To research their settings of their characters. Yeah.
Exactly. And I looked at a few actors and people that I knew in my life that reminded me, and took some of their features and incorporated it into the characters to help people identify with, I know somebody like that, character. And so, Demarius, the captain, he kind of has a mixture of Sylvester Stallone, and then he has a little mixture of Patrick Swayze.
Really? Yeah.
And then people that I know, he has some of those characteristics to help me build the characters.
Well, I sure do appreciate you coming down today to tell us about that, and we'll have some of the slide material coming up. And
no problem.
And so you're based out of Louisville at this time?
Yes, I'm in Louisville.
And PIC Entertainment is the name of your company?
Yes,
Well, I enjoyed looking at that information, and thank you so much. And y'all stay tuned for some of his great work. Thanks for watching.